Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the presentation of the results of the OPM3 Portugal project. This is the assessment results for the information systems organizations. I'm going to show it to you for the small organizations, which means that the criteria was taking into account the number of the employees. So these results are for the less than 100 employees. So let's move to the results. Starting with the process ownership, which achieved 100%, it means that the organization of the small size in the information systems area have a group or an individual owner of the processes. It means that is known by the organization which is or which are the responsibles to implement new processes on the organizations or to implement improvements on the processes that already exist. So let's move to the two processes of the initiation phase, which are following this process ownership, which are the develop project charter and the identification of stakeholders. The develop project charter achieved 64%, a good result, but still could be better. And then the identification of stakeholders near to 0%, with only 2%, still a great margin to improve here on this process. The remaining processes on this slide are related to the planning phase. So I'll start with the develop project management plan, which is the process that supports all the remaining processes on this phase, achieving 67%. Also near that percentage, achieved 64% the collect requirements as well as the definition of the scope. And then we have the creation of the WBS, achieving only 0%. So these organizations are not implementing the WBS on their projects. The definition of the activities achieved a good result of 81%. Not so well on the sequences with 43%. The estimation of activity resources as well as duration with good results. The developed schedule achieving 29%, still also margin to improve here. The estimates of the costs with a low percentage as well with 38%. Determination of budget there are not processes to determine the budget in these organizations. Also not processes on the plan quality as well as the developed human resources plan. These organizations are also not putting too much effort as well as on the plan communication and the plan risk management. Actually the risk is not being taken care the importance that it should. As you can see, the 2% on the risk management and the 0% on the remaining processes of the risk area. Then in the last one, you have plan procurements with 14%. It's the last process of the planning. Moving on to the execution, monitoring, control phase, we have the direct and managed project execution achieving only 12%. Remembering that this process it's very important to be implemented on the organizations, achieving substantial low results. 0% we have quality assurance in the project team as well as the development of the project team. Only 2%, so almost zero. Also on the project team here on the manage the team. We have a good result on the distribution information process, but again not so good on the how to manage the expectations of the stakeholders. With 100% we have fully implemented the conduct procurements process and the monitoring control project work. 0% on the perform integrated change control, verification of the scope and control scope. So the changes during the process are not being registered, are not being implemented, are not being communicated, which here have some intention should give some attention on this area. Related to the control of the schedule, they're better with 55%. Then control of the costs, not so well again, with only 17%. Also 0% we have the perform quality control, report performance, monitor and control the risks. Then the processes related with procurements, we have the administration of the procurements with 88%, and the remaining one already part of the closing phase we have with 100% the closed procurements. The other remaining process of the closing stage, we have the closed project or phase process with only 2%. So the score for this project management area is 33%, achieving 19 best practices, as you can see on the right side, and you will see further other slides of the best practices that were achieved by this sector. Moving on to the portfolio domain, here we have 100% was achieved on the first process, which is the process ownership, meaning that small size organizations of information systems have clearly identified which are the responsibles to put into practices new processes, implement improvements on the processes that already existed on the organizations. So all the organizations have a full knowledge of those processes that are being implemented as part of the portfolio. And the remaining processes on the portfolio are scored at 0%. At all the processes are marked on red, as you can see on this slide. The final score for the portfolio is 7%, and non-best practices were achieved. Here we have the results of the final domain. The organization enables results. We have with 55% the policy and vision of the OPM. Slightly better with the strategic alignment with 71%. Also near the 50s, we have with 56 resource allocation management systems with 56 and 54% respectively. 81% was achieved on the sponsorship, good result. Not so good on the three forward processes with organizational structures, competency management, and performance appraisals with great margin to improve. Project management training are giving is getting importance by these organizations, achieving 60%. Still can improve as well. The organizational project management communities achieving only 5%. The OPM practices 47%, better, and then 0% on the methodology of the OPM and 48% on the OPM techniques. Then we have the project management metrics achieving 17% and zero score on the processes of project success criteria and benchmarking, meaning that the organization not only are not paying attention to establish the success criteria of their projects, they're finding what is really important to achieve to get the success in their projects, but also not making comparisons with the external organizations that are also working with similar projects. And then the last one, we have the knowledge management and PMIS achieving only 10%. So the global score for the organization that enables results are 35%, achieving 4 best practices in this domain. Here on this slide, I'll show you all the best practices that were achieved by this sector. As you can see them with more detail. Now I'll show you the OPM3 summary results for the information systems of small size. We see here that the project management overall maturity level is 5%. But if we count with all the effort that is made on the projects, counting with every technique that is implemented on the projects, even if it's not across all the organizations, we get a total global score of 27%. So we should focus on this one instead of 5%. Moving on, the OPM3 continuous score is 33% for the projects, 7% for the portfolio, and 35% for the organization enablers. Respectively to the project management, we got 7% for the standardized, 14% for the measure, higher than the standardized, 12% for the control, and 12% as well for the improvement maturity. This means that as the measure maturity is higher than the standardized, as well as the control and the improvement, it means that these organizations are actually measuring, control, and actually also improve their processes instead of first standardize. And it should be the other way around. It should be first standardize the processes, and then only after measure, control, and improve. The best practices achieved of the 300 possible were 23, so it was achievable 7% of the best practices. The remaining slide, I'll show you the results on the graphic. This table shows the overall maturity at the top with 5%, divided on the three domains of the portfolio, program, and project, and below on the remaining one with 5% organizational enablers. 0% for the program as marked because it was not part of the scope, so it's why all the lines are at white. And then the portfolio was evaluated but was registered with 0% of the score, and then the project 11%. As I told before, 7% for the standardized, 14% for the measure, 12% for the control, and for the improve as well. And this will finish my presentation. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.